he said very specifically, depending on the questions you ask Putin, you could be arrested or not. And I said, listen to what you're saying. You're saying the U.S. government has like control over my questions and they'll arrest me if I ask the wrong question? Like, how are we better than Putin if that's true? Killing Navalny during the Munich Security Conference in the middle of a debate over $60 billion in Ukraine funding? Maybe the Russians are dumb. I didn't get that vibe at all. I don't think we kill people in other countries to affect election outcomes. Oh, wait. No, we do it a lot and have for 80 years.
What's going on, America? Well, man, doing the daytime live. Well, it's been a while, and figured I'd get back in the saddle and go. I believe this to be one of the most important interviews you could watch as an American, or maybe anyone around the world. This is post-Putin interview with TuckerCarlson. Lex Fridman's one of my favorite interviewers. If you ever get a chance, I put the link to the original video in the description box below, so you can watch the whole thing. It's a 3-hour interview. I'll be breaking it down into, I don't know how many parts yet. I'm going to try to keep them all about an hour each, and you know the way I like to go off on tangents and interject and stuff. It could be very well beyond 3 hours when I'm done with it. So we're going to do 1 hour parts. This is part 1. I think everybody should see this. We're going to dissect it. It's very important. A lot of information and a lot of tells. A lot of important stuff here. So I'm going to let Lex open up, do his own intro, and I'll be jumping in and out as I feel fit. And without further ado, here we go.
The following is a conversation with Tucker Carlson, a highly influential and often controversial political commentator. When he was at Fox, Time magazine called him the most powerful conservative in America. After Fox, he has continued to host big, impactful interviews and shows on X, on the Tucker Carlson podcast, and on TuckerCarlson.com. I recommend subscribing, even if you disagree with his views. It is always good to explore a diversity of perspectives. Most recently, he interviewed the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We discussed this, the topic of Russia, Putin, Navalny, and the war in Ukraine at length in this conversation. Please allow me to say a few words about the very fact that I did this interview. I have received a lot of criticism, publicly and privately. I announced that I will be talking with Tucker. For people who think I shouldn't do the conversation with Tucker, or generally think that there are certain people I should never talk to, I'm sorry, but I disagree. I will talk to everyone, as long as they're willing to talk genuinely in long form for 2, 3, 4 more hours. I will talk to Putin and to Zelensky, to Trump and to Biden, to Tucker, and to Jon Stewart, AOC, Obama, and many more people with very different views on the world. I want to understand people, and
this is why I really like this guy. Lex Fridman, I'm pretty sure, is originally from Russia, or his family came from Russia. But I like his demeanor. If you're not familiar with his interviews, well, you should get familiar with them. I really liked a few of them. I'll have to go back to my notes to find what my favorite ones were. But this guy does a good job, really good job. There's one man, I forget his name. I don't want to misspeak, but he does hardcore history. That one I actually played through twice, because every time you listen to it, you got something else out of it. So this is going to be one of those.
ideas. That's what long-form conversations are supposed to be all about. Now, for people who criticize me for not asking tough questions, I hear you. But again, I disagree. I do often ask tough questions, but I try to do it in a way that doesn't shut down the other person, putting them into a defensive state where they give only shallow talking points. Instead, I'm looking always for the expression of genuinely held ideas and the deep roots of those ideas. When done well, this gives us a chance to really hear out the guest and to begin to understand what and how they think. And I trust the intelligence of you, the listener, to make up your own mind, to see through the bullshit, to the degree there's bullshit, and to see to the heart of the person. Sometimes I fail at this, but I'll continue working my ass off to improve. All that said, I find that this no tough questions criticism often happens when the guest is a person the listener simply hates and wants to see them grilled into embarrassment, called a liar, a greedy egomaniac, a killer, maybe even an evil human being, and so on. If you are such a listener, what you want is drama, not wisdom. In this case, this show is not for you. There are many shows you can go to for that, with hosts that are way more charismatic and entertaining than I'll ever be. If you do stick around, please know I will work hard to do this well and to keep improving. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for your support. I love you all. This is the Lex Fridman podcast. To support it, please check out our sponsors in the description. And now, dear friends, here's TuckerCarlson. What was your first impression when you met Vladimir Putin for the interview?
I thought he seemed nervous, and I was very surprised by that. And I thought he...
Give me a second here to see what's going on. Everything was running smooth, and now we got choppy. Driver updates, and they want me to launch a new Chrome. Okay, we may keep this as the intro. I might have to change the title until I could get this running smooth. Because everything was going good. I got excellent connection. We got low memory usage, 3%, 0 drop frames. I don't know. We'll see. If it continues to run like shit, though, I'll restart the computer, and we'll just make this the intro. So we'll let a few minutes of it play, and we'll see. If I gotta backtrack a little bit, I will. But yeah, I could see it right now. OBS is starting to run real slow, even transitioning between scenes. Yep, spinny wheel starting.
seemed like someone who'd overthought it a little bit, who had a plan. And I don't think that's the right way to go into any interview. My strong sense, having done a lot of them for a long time, is that it's better to know what you think, to say, you know, as much as you can honestly, so you don't get confused by your own lies, and just to be yourself. And I thought that he went into it like an overprepared student, and I kept thinking, why is he nervous? But you know, I guess because he thought a lot of people were going to see it.
But he was also probably prepared to give you a full lesson in history, as he did.
Well, I was totally shocked by that and very annoyed because I thought he was filibustering. I thought he would. I mean, I asked him, as I usually do, the most obvious, dumbest question ever, which is, you know, why'd you do this? And he had said in a speech that I think is worth reading. I don't speak Russian, so I haven't heard it in the original, but he had said at the moment of the beginning of the war, he had given this address to Russians in which he explained to the fullest extent we have seen so far why he was doing this. And he
All right, yeah, so computers be an asshole. I'm going to change the title of this to the Tucker Lex Fridman interview intro. And we're going to leave you on that cliffhanger. Why did Putin do it? Now, if you paid attention to my Facebook, if you paid attention to the arguments I made in Discord, I told you from the very beginning why Putin did this. Not many people understand what the hell's going on in the world. They're all just, they hate Putin, hate Putin, hate Putin. Notice the people that hate Putin and love Ukraine also hate America. They hate freedom. These are the globalist Marxists that are destroying the fucking world. in the name of tyranny. They hate freedom. It's as simple as that. They don't like humans being free. They think they know better than you. They think they're above you. And they think they can use you. Well, the tides are turning, and people have had enough. We're not tax cattle. The only reason America became so powerful and influential was because we were unleashed. We weren't bogged down by government. We represented ourselves. And unleashing the power and the ingenuity and creativity of man is what took over and why we were so powerful and rich. Governments do nothing but hinder the growth and evolution. Governments create nothing. They destroy, they harness, they enslave, they imprison it and use it as their own. That's what regulations are and all that shit. Now, some regulations, okay, I understand. But banning gas stoves, do you want people to die when the power goes out in the winter? You want them to freeze to death? With a gas stove, you can heat your home and still cook. You can boil water. You can't do that with an electric stove when the grid goes out. Every move they're making is to make your life work. Or worse, banning gasoline engines. How are you going to ban gas generators? What kind of generators? Solar generators? Battery packs you got to recharge? What about when the grid's down? It's insane what these people are doing. They're not the good guys when history is going to reflect. So, I'm going to reset everything. And we're going to pick this up from here. This has been the intro. Get excited. This is a good interview. And I look forward to watching it with you.